Man, what's going on, folks? It's your boy Money Matt coming back to you again from you already know what it is. It's the set, bro. Today, bro, you know we gonna spark a conversation as we always do here on the set and pertaining to sneakers. Yeah, that's kind of what we do here, man. Sneakers, electronics, and anything else that we could spark a conversation from. So I do highly encourage you all to participate in this conversation because it is one of those topics that, as sneakerheads, I think the meaning of the term grail is a little muddied, right? And by that I mean it's totally different definitions of the term grail when we talk about sneakers. So today we're gonna get into the definition of grail, multiple definitions of grail, and what my grail is. And I would like to solicit you to hit the comment section to let me know what your grail is and why it's your grail. I'm your boy Money Matt, bro. You already know it, man. Let's get into it. Now, first off, man, I just want to read a few of the meanings of grail, right? So one definition says the term grail is used in the sneaker community to describe a highly sought after and often limited edition shoe that a collector does not currently own but desires to add it to their collection. Now, the term grail does derive from the phrase holy grail and implies that it is a shoe of great value and importance to the collector. It is often considered to be the ultimate prize sneaker for that sneaker enthusiast, and obtaining it could be a very long and arduous process. That's one long definition, but it could be broken down into two different things when we talk about the word grail. Now, the first part, for me, I kind of don't really agree with that first part, meaning it is a sneaker that's highly sought after and often limited edition shoes for a collector, right? That's the part I just don't agree with. Now, the other part of this, I kind of agree with when it says it is often considered to be the ultimate prize for the sneaker enthusiast, right? Now, whether the shoe is hard to get and it's difficult, you can buy anything with money these days. Let's just put it that way. So that second part of that, I kind of don't agree with. But another definition that I hold to be the standard of what a grail is, as read, a grail or holy grail is more often not a very special pair of sneakers, but a pair of sneakers that is on your bucket list and holds significant meaning and value to you based on an event or nostalgia. Yeah, I'm just saying. So I'm going with that one because for me to say that I have a pair of shoes that are a grail for me means that that shoe has to have some significance to me for me to put it on that top of my list to either spend upwards of, sometimes these people that have shoes on their grails are $2, $3, $4, $5, $10,000 sneakers. It's just not it. Like, it's just not it for me. And I take that term grail to be as in, like, when you spoke about the holy grail, right? When you talk about the shroud, when you talk about those things that happened with Jesus Christ and those things, right? Those things are considered to be holy grails because they hold significance to a said time and event that happened in Jesus Christ's life and the resurrection, right? We ain't here to go to church, but I'm just saying if that term derived from that, then you have to take that part of the meaning into consideration, right? Can you have a grail sneaker that has no meaning to you? It's just something that you just really, really like, and it's hard to get, and it's really expensive. Can you do that? Absolutely. You can do whatever you want, but this question always gets brought up in sneaker forums and on X, on Facebook, wherever people talk about sneakers when they talk about grails, right? And it has changed to the point where people say my grail, right? One of my grails. Now, I like that because they're actually putting a onus on it. They're taking ownership by saying, hey, this is mine. This is my grail. And I don't care what you say about it. This is what I hold to be near and dear. This is a pair of sneakers that is the creme de la creme of my sneaker collection. I agree with that. But at the same time, for me, I believe that, again, that grail has to have some significance and some meaning behind it, and it brings back a certain feeling, again, of nostalgia or an event that happened in your life to where that was the pair of sneakers that you had on. And I know I'm probably aging myself out here, and a lot of the younger crowd, well, I mean, they can relate to that too. But for us who grew up at the height of this, right, in the 80s, 90s, right, we were around for when these sneakers actually did things, right? And it makes it to the point where we were either in elementary school, middle school, high school, and we had those times in our life where things happened. And that was the pair of sneakers that you had on, right? So that's kind of where I am with the term grail. And for all the sneakers that I've had, all the sneakers that I've sold, all the sneakers that I've gotten rid of, all the sneakers that I've worn from the time I can't even remember. It's crazy that I'll tell you what my grail is. And a lot of people will probably be like, bro, that's a GR shoe. That's yeah. And that's all fine and well because, again, you have your opinion and I have mine. But I'm going to tell you what my grail is right after you hit that like and subscribe button. Griffey Max 1. Yep, absolutely. That sneaker was the sneaker that I just absolutely had to have because I have vivid memories of times in my life where that sneaker was the sneaker that I had. I had the baseball jersey. I had the hat backward. I had all of that, right? And I know that's crazy because I grew up in the 80s. And I was an 80s baby. Grew up in the 90s. Came into adulthood in the 2000s, right? That's cool when all the Jordans were popping and all these other sneakers were. But for whatever reason, that Griffey Max 1 was the shoe that I absolutely had to have. That was my grail. I've bought that shoe 4 times. I know I bought it 4 times. And another reason why it just sticks with me because the day, well, I want to say the day I graduated, you know, you take your graduation pictures or whatever. Those were the sneakers that I had on in 1999, bruh. I know I'm dating myself, but my business. That's all I'm saying. I'm dating myself, but that's cool because I'm an OG in this game. That pair of sneakers hold significant value to me. So that is my grail. If they drop the OG colorway one more time, guess what? Granted, they just came out again 3 years ago, maybe. Yeah, about 3 years ago. I copped them then. And another thing with that is, just because that sneaker holds that spot for me in my heart and in my wallet, I wore those shoes when I was in high school. I wore those shoes when I graduated high school graduation pictures, right? I wore those shoes on my honeymoon in Vegas. Baseball jersey and all, bruh. again, all these things are subjective, right? They're all our opinions, right? But for me, a grail doesn't have to be something that is like worth $10,000. It doesn't have to be that. A grail is a shoe that you hold as the #1 sneaker in your collection despite the value, because sentimental value always outweighs value. If anybody's ever had anybody that passed away and they have something that belonged to that person that passed away, they can't put a price on that item that person left behind because they hold it near and dear. It's the same thing with sneakers, man. It's the same thing. Like that Griffey Max 1 holds that spot for me. Again, if they drop them again, I'm gonna get them. So the Griffey Max 1s were one of the most retro trainers in Nike history. Now Dion had his trainers, Barry Sent, Brett Favre, everybody had some trainers. Bo Jackson had some trainers, but the Griffey Max 1 is the most retro trainer that Nike has ever put out. It is. And you ain't getting away from that, bro. You're not getting away from that. This shoe was sick. And of course, it's just like any other 90s shoe, right? Bulky. It's hard as hell to get on your foot. But I'm telling you, man, this shoe holds weight with me. And I know a lot of people out there, when these dropped again 3 years ago, that they went nuts for these on the OG colorway. Anyway, this colorway right here, everybody went nuts over. Now they released like 30,000 other colorways of this when they dropped them again, right? They had another one that came out when they did the Griffey celebration or whatever, with him and his father. Like, I'm just a sucker for Ken Griffey, and I think that's what it is. And I think that's why this shoe is like creme de la creme for me when it comes to my grail. That, again, it doesn't have to be one of those sneakers that's like $2 million. It don't. It all depends on how that shoe makes you feel. You had significant events in your life that happened while you were wearing that shoe. And for me, it's been like 3 instances where I had that shoe on. And it's not because of lack of, that's the only pair of shoes I had. Hell no. Number one, I'm a fan of Griffey. I had those shoes in 96. I had them in 99. Man, I had them again in like 2010. And then I had them again when they dropped them again. And yeah, my kids know, hey, that's Dad's shoe. Like, my son went and bought a pair just because he knows how I feel about that sneaker. So, man, I'm just saying, you know, we always having conversations here on the set. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. We love our kicks, and we always have a story or a reason why we do what we do. I'm your boy Money Matt, bruh. If you haven't done so already, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that comment section to let me know what your grail is and why is your grail. And whether you agree with me on my grail, which, you know, I don't really care what, I mean, I care, you know what I mean? But it's not going to deter me from me saying that's my grail. You know what I mean? But I do solicit your reactions in the comment section. So, this is one of them topics, bro. This is one of them topics. It's definitely one of them topics. And again, get in on it, man. I will be responding as I always do in the comment section, bro. I'm your boy Money Matt, bro. I'm gonna go get on out of here, bro. If you ain't done so, take a look at the store down below, bro. We got merch. We got Sneakerholics Anonymous merch in the store, bro. You know how we do. We love our addictions. All addictions aren't bad. We just happens to be in this one. I'm Money Matt. I'm a sneakerholic. I'm gonna get on out of here, bro. Peace.